So this is what we are trying to achieve, and you can see that these are very fluid lines, and then there are some tones. Sometimes the tones were done earlier than the lines, and the brushes or maybe the twigs that were used to do these lines were exquisite. I mean, it's so fluid that one must always try to do something like this to enhance their, artistry. It's extraordinary to look at these. So I'll try to produce something like this, and this is like a self-portrait of Rembrandt, maybe. And here, what I'm trying to do is a Rabindranath Tagore portrait. And mind you, Tagore was himself a capable artist in the abstract realm, and he also did many ink drawings. But here we are trying to paint his sketchy portrait with a twig. Here you can see that I've mapped out with some very diluted ink water, and you can see that the twigs were used to create the lines. And then again, I'm going back to the tones with slightly more intense paint. I mean, not so much diluted. My intention here is not to copy a Rembrandt drawing, but to learn from it and use it to our advantage. We can even do these things outside with some pen brush filled with maybe two diluted, one with totally ink and maybe a pen, something like that. And that's a very enjoyable experience. Here you can see that I'm taking care in drawing the face a little, and this is something that I don't do that often. And but if I can do, I mean, maybe 100 sketches or something, I'll be very good at it. I have done this exercise before with landscapes, and there are many good results in this particular sketchbook. So I think we should at least try to understand. And when you see Rembrandt's drawings, I mean, they are like the snapshots of life onto those pages. I mean, he saw that incident, maybe child walking, somebody is very sick, and workers or servants are working, household stuff, and it's just like a storybook in itself. So extraordinary. So this is just an old copy from an old photograph, and this is more or less the way Rembrandt drew the subjects. And you can see that I'm using some more saturated ink from the bottle itself and creating the tones. And after that, I'll be doing some windows, etc. And after this one, I'll also focus on something that Rembrandt also did with the brushes. But here we are focusing on the primary technique that he followed. I mean, we are not worried about the straight lines or anything. If you can draw straight lines, okay. But here, mostly we are concerned about accuracy of lines and also the tones. And Rembrandt focused a lot on tones. Now you can see that I'm using, undiluted ink to create very dark marks. And this twig is slightly older now, so I need to go for something else and try to make another one. And here is a pointy brush, and I am just doing an outline. I'm not very perfect in this, but I'm trying to do another Tagore portrait. And here his nose, which is very familiar to everybody in India, especially in Bengal or Bengali speaking community. And here is his trademark beard, and he looked like a stage. And he would walk around the house, and these were photographed when he's thinking very intensely. And there is a particular pose that everybody knows. There are sketches, ink sketches of him walking. So this is very difficult for me and strenuous. So I'm taking my time And ideally it's important to connect the lines of ink washes, but here I'm taking my time. I can do it later, and you can see that I'm using connected lines. So this method is very calligraphic. You have to keep your brushes in most cases very vertical so that the ink flow can be controlled. And in this case, we are focusing on the strength of the line rather than on the tones. There are no tones, it's just the lines. So that is more or less it, I think. And I'm just going to put some more tones. It's just single lines. So if you can in life draw something with single line, I think it will have a beauty of its own, because your hand will be in motion, and you will ignore some areas to be precise, and you will work on some areas where it's more defined, just like the face, etc. So these are the common two ways in which Rembrandt possibly would have worked with ink. So I think you must, at least in life, do something like this to free your hand and your eye movement and everything. So this is a very beautiful and dynamic way of doing sketches, and you can see that my method is also consistent. It just needs a little bit more practice, and when you practice more and more, you can draw like this very well. So if you like this video, then please click the like button, and also remember to subscribe. And if you have any queries, then please do let me know in the comment section below. And I run oil painting classes, so if you're interested, then you can contact me directly. I thank you for your time. Take care.